3G or 4G cell phones? Most of us. I said us because I also have 3G cell phone. And do you guys know that Dallas area has the fastest internet access in 3G or 4G? Hi, I'm Paris, and today I'm going to talk about the generations of cell phones. Let me start out by saying the meaning of cell phones. It's just a telephone, but it's just we can use it while moving from point A to point B. It's a cordless telephone. About the history, the first generation cell phone, it came into existence in 1946. It was first made in 1946. First network they allowed for the first generation cell phone to work was in Chicago in 1977. So pretty much 1G started in the early 80s, and it was nationwide in Japan for the first time. And what made this generation different from others was the cell phones used analog systems. So what that tells you is the phones used to weigh like 2 pounds, and they had a lot of bad signals come. And the way for the general public to know about the difference between the generations of cell phones is its downloading speed. And for this one, the downloading speed was 2.9 kilobytes per second to 5.6 kilobytes per second. And you can see one of these cell phones at that time. Next up is the second generation. It was a lifesaver because by the second generation there came something called texting. Something, for somebody like me who doesn't like to talk on the phone that much, it's a lifesaver. And what else? Everything went digital by that time. The second generation came something around the early 90s. And the cell phone you can see here is Simon. It's by IBM. If you have seen the movie The Net by Sandra Bullock, she uses this one. And this thing was pretty cool at that time. It has a calculator, the address book, the contacts. It has an alarm clock, email services, and some games, maybe Pac-Man, I don't know. And best of all, it has a full keyboard, touch-screen keyboard. So, at that time, the price for this one is $850, something like that. If you calculate the inflation, it is something like $1,100 right now in the present context. And think about it, like, despite all the inflation and everything getting higher prices, you can get an iPhone right now for like what, $500 after all this time, and that iPhone is like what, granddaddy of this phone. So, I mean, even with all sorts of progress, I think it's getting cheaper, and it's all because of electrical engineers. Let's go to the third generation, and all the cool things started from the third generation. Either we could watch videos in our cell phones, YouTube. It has a video calling. And about 15% of 3 billion cell phone users by 2007 had a 3G cell phone. And one interesting fact about 3G is Mount Everest has a 3G network. And in the top of the Mount Everest there is a 3G network. So if you after buffering for 5 minutes, you can watch that video. It's party in the rooftop, top of the world video. In Mount Everest with a 3G cell phone. And if talking about the downloading speed, it has something around 2 megabytes per second, and it has a moving speed of 384 kilobytes per second. What do I know by that is, well, like while partying, if you fall down, and your speed goes down to 384 kilobytes per second. And one more thing, iPhone 4 and iPhone 4S, they are not 4G network. Just to let you guys know, you guys might know about it already, but they still use 3G network. Talking about that, 4G, it has a speed of 1 gigabytes per second. Just makes me smile, that's a big deal. That's a lot of downloading speed you can get from 4G network. And talking about the 4G, it was first commercially launched in Copenhagen, and everything in the 4G cell phone, everything is internet based. Even when you talk to somebody in the cell phone, it's all internet based. And talking about the future of cell phones, well, 4G, if you look at the trend of cell phones, every single decade, like in every 9 or 10 years, there's a new generation coming. So, and this one, the fourth generation came in 2009, something around like 2010. So we might expect to see the 5G by 2019 and 2020. I should have got a downloading speed of 10% because 75% is way too long time from now. I couldn't find it, so. Anyways, talking about the differences, these are my references. And to sum up, I would like to say that technology evolves really fast. And this much progress in just a short period of time, just for like in 30 years, there's been a huge advancement in the way people communicate. It's all because of the cell phones. And if we do some research, I did some research on the cell phones, and pretty soon, like by 5 or 6 years from now, you'll have cell phones which is flexible. You can just use it as your watch, as your wallet, everything, and it will be weatherproof, no scratches. Solar power charging, you don't have to charge it anymore, and many more fancy stuff on it. And the way to communicate will be quicker and faster too. So what I'm trying to say is technology in communication sector is really moving fast, and now these tablets is also part of communication thing. It's also kind of cell phone kind of thing. So if you don't want to fall behind, iPad 3 is releasing today. So go and get it.